Wholeness, everyone. This is Rasheedah Silvertree here, and I am felt really called to get this reading, energy reading, done for the full moon of October 2023, which will be next month. And so, I am trying certain new things, different approaches as far as these energy readings go. If you haven't watched my previous video for the new moon reading for October 2023, which is for next month, please note that every moon reading will be a month ahead. So October readings will be this month, and then November readings will be in October. December readings will be in November. In between that time, I could do other readings as well, whenever I guess I feel led to by source. But I'm all about being prepared and having that time and that space to prepare for the next cycle of our seasons, right? We have October, November, December, and it's the ending of autumn and the beginning of winter, right? And so through the next 3 months, if I'm giving you guys, a heads up on these messages, and just, take what resonates for you, that would be the best way to go. So I am going to light some sage here, and we'll get started on our reading. I hope everyone is doing well this month of September. Usually September is a very odd month because a lot of the time it's truly, that weather really begins to shift quite a lot. So, Woo. That flame's really going. When you really need like a cleanse, you can judge by how intense the fire is when you're burning sage or when you're burning herbs. So, okay. All right, I'm just gonna turn my fan here. Oh yeah. Yeah, the portal is now open today, for sure. So yeah, let's get started. So the energy reading I'll be doing today is based off the Runic tradition, the Norse rune tradition, the Scandinavian way, if you will. And it's so interesting how everything flows, you know what I'm saying? And this technique of reading, I find, just comes so naturally with how, I use my runes. And so, this is the eightfold wheel. There will be 10 runes. I'm sorry, 9. There will be 9 runes in total, okay? And over time, how I display the energies will also be a lot more concise, but bear with me. All right, let's get into it. So I always like to focus in on, before I get into this, I wanted to do the eightfold wheel energy reading with my runes, because it's so fitting, because October comes from the Latin word octum. Octum means 8. And a lot of the time, due to our Halloween traditions in the West and Western culture, you have the spider. You have the spider and the spider web, and the spider is known to be creepy crawly and just and icky and weird and dark, right? but not so. Many cultures use the spider as a symbolic for the creative life force energy. Actually, in some traditions, it's actually the beginning of all creation, right? The womb of all creation. It is a very powerful, strong energy when it comes to creativity and time and infinity. That number 8 is very it's very, very telling. You look at it, and then that energy continues to keep moving. So with that being said, just you can look up the meaning of the symbolic meaning of the spider, or the spider spirit, spider medicine. I don't really know why it's affiliated with the shadow realm, or things that are opposite of oneness, which is evil, right? I don't know the dark history behind it so much, or why we deem certain creatures as dark and icky and weird. The element that the spider represents is fire. Okay, it is so usually our creepy crawlies are insects and things that are very close to the ground, very close to the earth, very close to the soil, that sting, that bite, okay, that sometimes are toxic and sometimes that look so exotic and otherworldly that they do strike fear. And that's when we see them crawling, because sometimes they move so fast, right? And sometimes slow. But it's that fire energy, that spark, okay? And sometimes a sting or the venom, there's lessons in those things. There's lessons in our insects and what they can show us. I try very hard not to kill them when they're in my home or in my vicinity, or in a place where I like to relax and be at peace. Sometimes that can be very symbolic of paying attention to something, right? Before it catches a flame, before the flame gets out of control. So anytime you see an insect or a creepy crawly or a spider, slow down before you whack it. Slow down before you obliterated its existence, because 9 chances out of 10, it's mirroring your fear as well. Usually they're more afraid of you than you are it. But there's always a lesson when we come across things like roaches or ticks or ants or bees or hornets or spiders, centipedes, millipedes, these things that they don't look cute and cuddly like a bear or a cat or a dog, kitten, So let's get started here. So keep that in mind, spider energy, when you are tuning into this reading, and maybe the spider, I feel a lot of spider energy right now. Okay, so I like to start with the energy of the present moment and what's going on for the human collective, okay? So I'm going to shake a little bit here, and I'm just going to pull. What is the present energy for we need to know and tune into? The flame. The flame. The internal flame. Look at that. Eternal and internal. We all have the eternal and internal flame. This is passion, right? This is warmth. Things that are getting a bit cold, and that could be emotionally. That could be anxiety. Sometimes in our mental body, we can be a bit too much in the mind, and it's too much fire energy. It could be a lot of arguments, a lot of disputes, things that can come to light, right? Truths that need to be seen. It could be that we need to be a lot more warm with ourselves, and we need to probably ignite. Some of us need to ignite our internal flame. Okay, because there's an eternal flame, but then there's an internal flame. And I'm getting I am getting burnout as well. And I'm thinking maybe the human collective is a bit burnout, right? so far in the cycles, the cycle of the 2020s in this decade, we've really come to terms in our present reality right now of burnout and being burnt out by our jobs, being burnt out by our marriages, being burnt out by anything that we are giving our 100%, 1,000% into. Things that we invest in don't necessarily invest in us. And that can raise a lot of issues, can raise a lot of problems. Burnout can really lead to depression. It could lead to improper eating. There's a lack of self-care, a lack of really good sleep, rest and relaxation, of silence, of just, sometimes we get so overstimulated by this fire energy that, we just kind of, if it goes quiet, we don't know what to do with ourselves. And that's what I think the beginning of 2020 really like the beginning of the 2020s really showed us right now, right? It's, oh my gosh, I have all this free time. What do I do now? Right? And we became realistic with the burnout situation. So and some of us actually needed a little, like, to ignite a little fire under our butt, okay? And as the collective, that could be as well. Like being honest with your own laziness or what's holding you back from doing what you really want to do. So that's what we're facing right now in this present moment of getting in tune with our internal flame, and we can use the eternal flame, which is God source, which is all that is, which is the womb of all creation. God, or what we call God or higher power, has millions of different names, okay? I am one, I'm a spiritualist, and I believe that, God has many faces, many, many, many cultures, many, many, many ways to connect with this source, this power. Okay, it is within us and without us. It is all around us. It is above us, below us. It is in the shadow, in the dark, in the light. It is in love. It even shows up in moments where there isn't any. So let's get in tune with our internal flame and get connected to the eternal flame of all that is. Okay. So let's see our past influence, okay? And I'm thinking before 2020, when things just kind of went haywire, all right? It was the end of the world for many, and it was the beginning of the world for some, okay? Again, it's a paradox because the endings are the beginnings, and beginnings are endings. So someone's, end of the world is someone else's beginning. It's a beautiful cycle of the life, death, life cycle, okay? Okay, so we made a decision as a collective. You see that? You see that energy walking through that portal, right? Whenever you see energy on both sides, it's like we accept whatever beauty and whatever good thing comes and whatever not so good thing comes. But we have chosen, and we walk through it regardless. It's almost like if you are a believer of incarnation, we walk into this world knowing, okay, this is my karma that I'm going to face in this lifetime. And so whatever good, whatever bad may happen, I choose it. And I have chosen it. Whatever happens. And as a collective, we made a decision that has put us here. Okay? So that, that's all that's coming up for the past influence and what would guide us to this eternal internal flame. Okay? All right, now, and this is just our current timeline, okay? This is just a timeline. So this is our present, our past, and then let's see what a possible future outcome can come out of this. When I just pulled this, I got the word and heard the word separation. That's what I got. You see the 3 points meeting in the middle, but then what I heard is just a split. What I gather when I am tuning into the artificial intelligence of the virtual reality we call the internet, because we have a digital world, we have a digital reality. Even right now, I'm taking part of building and creating my digital self, recording myself in this present moment to share something with you. Right? There is a major split that's taking place, like it or not. And we can look at, like, let's say, wealth, abundance, poverty. Okay? Because, again, it's all about perception. How will we deal with this split? How will this split interrupt your current narrative? And I think it ties to how you tune into the internal, eternal flame. Some people lack a lot of confidence in themselves. I'm also seeing why, and why can stand for yes. For those of us that say yes to our dreams, yes to our goals, yes to our passions, yes to overcoming our challenges and our addictions, yes to changing our trajectory in our personal and individual lives, this is a beautiful time for you. Whatever's coming, you say yes to the correct things that are truly in alignment for you. Very, very well. Very good for you. But for those that continue to neglect their yes, it'll be very challenging. You're going to feel split. You're going to feel pulled this way and that way. Your mind will be pulled that way. Your body will be pulled that way. And your heart will be pulled that way. You're going to feel fragmented and confused. I see 3 horses pulling a man. You know, the man's trying to control the horses, but all the horses aren't working in sync together. And what happens? They used to use this as a torture, a way of torture someone to death. Unfortunately, they would tie a man's limbs to different horses, and then they would hit the horses to get them to go in different directions, and the person would be torn apart. Very, very awful. But I'm not speaking I'm speaking metaphorically about our consciousness. That's what's happening. So those of you can say yes to what is true for you. I'm making some follow-up videos this afternoon about, strengthening your intuition and things of that nature. So please check that out. I'm definitely going to work on that today. But this is what the possible outcome is. Say yes to you. Say yes to you. Even you has the word why. Say yes to you. Okay? So that is our timeline. So we've made the decision to walk through, take whatever's coming in shadow and light, and walk through a decision, a portal we've chosen. So the past we made a very, very, very important decision, okay, at the beginning of 2020 as a collective. Right now, everyone's trying to figure out what's lighting them from the inside, what's igniting them. Okay? And say yes to you. When you figure out what ignites you, this is going to lead you to more yeses in life. This is going to lead you to you. If you do not follow that eternal internal flame, you're going to have a difficult time. You're going to feel very fragmented. Okay? All right. Now, there's 3 energies that our timeline is completed so far. Now let's ask for advice. Or actually, before we do that, let's check in with the super ego, the human collective. Okay? What's going on? What's going on with her? Okay. Wow. This came up in my... This came up in my meditation this morning. This symbol right here. Very strongly. This is ego. Ego is here. Ego is of lower nature. So it's here. Okay? I, the serpent's eye. And it's what's so funny is the ego is I, me, myself, and I. And Beyonce's song, Me, Myself, and I, that's all I got. We are so very much, you know what? Here's the thing though, okay? This is why it's so tricky with ego. Ego, we need the ego. We need to be aware of the ego. Do not allow yourself to be controlled by the ego, okay? Possessed, I should really say. But many people don't even know that they're possessed by their ego. I am, you are, we all are. Doesn't matter your creed, your religion, your beliefs, or lack thereof. We're all, from time to time, get completely possessed by the ego. There are times where you need to self-preserve. So they call it self-preservation. Where you really do need to just focus on you. Focus on your I. Okay? Also, it's about seeing too. Sight. But I'm really getting strongly like individualism. Okay, that's what's happening right now is, okay, I got to cover myself, my bills, my this, my that, my future, my kids, my husband, my wife, my career, my education, my bank accounts, all of this material stuff. Ego is very materialistic. And it can be, you can have spiritual ego too. Oh my gosh, yes. I spent some time out in the West. I'm in the Midwest now, but I spent some time out in the West. And believe you me, okay, spiritual ego is a thing. Not everyone that looks like a guru and that's wearing robes and prayer beads and that's living like a monk is the most righteous, right? But take care of yourself. Take care of your affairs. That's why it's important. I'm not anti-ego at all. You try to destroy the ego and you're going to go insane. I've seen it happen. Mentally unstable. Okay? People try to pull a Jesus Christ and they give their everything, and they end up really having to learn a hard decision. There are times where you must self-preserve. You must do that. You know, I'm thinking of the story. It's called Emperor's New Clothes. And really, he's just naked. Okay? You know, if we had no ego, we would literally be... we would wear no clothes. Why wear clothes? Why brush your teeth? Why take care of yourself? It means nothing. Being completely egoless means that there's no purpose or meaning to anything. Why do anything? But then we get so possessed by the I want this. I don't like that. I. It's quite annoying, but it's also needed. Okay? So that's what's going on. That's the subconscious. That's what's driving all of this is ego. All right. But look closely at your affairs. Pay attention to your affairs, whether that's your business, whether that's your relationships, marriages, your relationships with your kids, your health. Look at your physical, materialistic reality. Now let's ask some advice for our love energy beings, which people call angels, spirit guides, or just a god, or gods, or goddesses, entities. I don't know your life, okay? Like everyone has their own relationship or lack thereof with spirit, with source. I'm not here to judge. What is right, what is wrong? I'm going to pull. Let's get some heavenly advice of our higher self, higher consciousness. Wow. Okay. So this is the rune of the deer. As you can see and this is actually the end of the deer season, the deer medicine for me anyway. But this is royalty. But also this is kind of a warning. We're setting ourselves up. We're setting our own traps for ourselves. Wow. And I'm getting, again, that connection to technology as well. We're setting our own trap with our digital technological advancements. We're thinking we're doing a good thing, but we are also, and we could be trapping ourselves. Do you see the arrows pointing up? It's almost like we're stepping into a bear trap. But we're the bear who set the trap. This is a warning. I don't mean to be all like glum and gloomy, but that's what's come. What came through. All right. Now, again, I told you that this is the eightfold ring or eightfold wheel reading. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with the past. So the active past is still in effect. Okay, it's still a situation. It's still affecting us, okay? Right here. Okay. Again, this rune is coming through. Again, the wolf. All right, I don't know if you could see the figure of the wolf in that. But that energy is, it's almost like I see a scratch. Like I just got a vision of a claw. So we're at war. We're in a battle. We're trying to claw our way. We've been trying to claw our way out of something. I just saw like something scratch the face of another animal. Huh. And I see the other animal who's being scratched in the face, cowering back. It's like two wolves fighting each other, but the one is weaker. The one that is weaker lacks confidence, which is, again, that internal flame. So we're lacking confidence. We're not sure if we can fight our inner beast. We're not sure if we can fight or bring awareness to our egoic ways. That's what the three, I see just a claw just scratching like this, like that. That's what I see, and that's still affecting us. There's a lack of confidence for sure from our past decisions, okay, that's still affecting us. We're not confident in our government. We're not confident in our leaders. We're not confident in ourselves. There's fear. You guys should look into the story of the two wolves, the black wolf and the white wolf. Two sides of the same coin. Okay, now below we have our past influences. This is fate that cannot be changed. This is fate that cannot be changed. Cannot be changed, okay? So this is actively past influence that's happening that's still affecting us. But this cannot be changed. Here we go. I'm grabbing one right now. I feel it. I feel it. There she is. Emptying of a cup. What I'm seeing is someone offered someone a drink and then someone's like, I don't want this, and they poured it out. Okay? They're like, no, I don't want this drink. And I don't know if that drink, you know what? This is what I'm getting, they questioned the drink because the drink could be poisonous or toxic or not good for them or not right for them. Something was off with what was offered. And that's okay. And we made that decision. Something was offered. We said no. We said nope. Because a cup, upright, that's an offering. That's water. That's anytime there's an offering, usually on our altars in our churches and our well, not mosques. They don't have offerings like that, but churches and just on our altars, okay, in general, there's always a chalice. Very seldomly do you see it downward, right? That's a no. So we made a decision of a no. We're saying no to something, and that this is an energy that cannot be shifted or changed. That's affecting us. Okay, but our future outcome says a yes. You say yes to you. All right. So there's a large portion of us that are like, nope. All right, next we have our active future. Okay. And this is what we can do to change our outcome, possibly. So let's check that out. This reading is going to be a little bit longer because this is an 8-fold wheel reading, okay? And this came up in the last reading too. Mankind, humankind. I see man here. We can choose ourselves. We can choose us. We can choose our true nature. I'm seeing human nature. We can choose our true nature. Maybe this is going back to the land, back to farming, back to the life of simplicity. You see 5 energies, our 5 senses here. Okay, our 5 physical senses. You can, have water, earth, wind, fire, ether, whatever. Sense of smell, smelling, hearing, tasting, touching, seeing, It is us. It is humankind. So when we choose our true nature, that's going to lead to a yes outcome. Yes always feels good. It's how we deal with our no. It's how we deal with our no that that can really F with us sometimes. Some people don't handle no very well. Okay, really. You have adult children out there, they have a hard time with a no. Okay? And then we have our inactive future. Things that we cannot change that are coming to fruition right now. Things that we cannot change for our near future. Everyone wants to know that, right? So that they can better prepare. So what should we prepare for that we cannot change? Let's take a look. Okay. I don't know why, but I'm going to sing this song that I picked up from watching a TV show years ago. I used to teach children, and so it goes, help, I need somebody, help, not just anybody, help. All right. It was an educational video, but anyway, I forgot what the context or content was of that video, but it had a lot of singing in it. But this is help. Two people helping each other, two people creating contracts. Ooh, okay. This is something that's already been made, already been planned, and someone already shook hands on this. Like, this is something that is part of the mastermind, the master plan. But we just need to ask ourselves, who is the effing master? And I also see the two wolves coming into agreement too. Remember over here in this active past, right? Things that are still, this conflict over here, because I see the slash with the claw on the face of another wolf or another person. Anytime we're going to war, guys, we're going to war with ourselves. Okay? When you have the old, I'll just say OWM, okay, old white men, okay, they dominate our political offices around the world. Yes, there are more women, female leaders. Woo, that's great. Okay, but usually they have to abide by the patriarchal setup. Okay, we do not live in a matriarchal society. But usually, anytime that these people make decisions where it leads to human conflict, physical harm, where a man has to, kill another man, a human being has to kill another human being. When a soldier goes to war, when a soldier has to go to war, he's fighting another man's internal war. He's fighting another man's jihad, if you will. I love the word jihad. I really do. When you truly understand the context and study the content of what jihad means, you'll understand. It is our internal holy war. Okay? Our internal holy war that leads to physical war. If you have a man that is in disagreement or feels like he's lacking something within himself, and he's leading a nation, leading a people, leading a community, he is going to do anything and everything he can to feel whole again. Whatever that means, that can mean if that means taking someone's land, if that means obliterating a whole nation, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. He'll go to war. He'll try to destroy someone else so that he can feel complete within himself. That's human nature, unfortunately. We tend to manifest our internal issues, and we try to romanticize it, dramatize it. I don't even dramatize. Oh my gosh, I just made up that word, I think. But we try to build other issues. Oh, this is the real reason why we're going to war. And I don't know why I'm talking about war now, but that's what's coming through. Because also here at the heart of this whole reading, you have fire. And fire is, and this is the beginning of the outro, by the way. And fire, too much fire can lead to anger, rage. Rage can lead to people doing very horrible things to other people or to themselves. If you harm another person, you're harming you. Nothing is separate. That is the biggest lie that we tell ourselves. And that's how we get lost in the I. Okay? And that's how we set our higher selves. See, our higher selves are always trying to, you can call it angel realm, you can call it spirit guides, you can call it whatever you wish. That beautiful feeling you get when you walk into, or you hear the message of a pastor or preacher or imam or sage or guru, okay? That feeling, you hear exactly what you needed, okay? That's source. That's God. That's your God. That's your higher consciousness mirroring itself back to you. And sometimes we get these warnings like, no, what I'm getting is what love energy beings are saying right here. They're like, humanity's doing this to themselves. You're doing this to you. It's for your own growth, though. You see? It's for humankind to evolve. But again, we have the power to make decisions. But once we work through the illusion of separation, we can get a lot more yes. Okay? And it's really tricky because when I say yes to you, don't worry about anyone else. No. That's not what I'm saying. Sometimes when you say yes to you, you're going to cause suffering to someone else. People are going to deem you selfish. They're going to call you selfish, right? Oh, you're so selfish. You're just worrying about yourself. Okay. Suffering, pain is unavoidable, okay? Suffering is pain on steroids where you can't see through the pain. There is no ending. And sometimes, okay, we have to learn lessons through suffering. Hard lessons. So again, and if you watch I mentioned jihad, I think, a couple of other times in my videos. Jihad, the meaning of jihad is holy war, okay? I am not one to sit here and tell you this is the time and date of this event, this is that's going to happen in this group of people and all of that other stuff. We live in the era of what they call Age of Aquarius. Do your research. Age of Aquarius is the energy blueprint of the astrological signs are like portals, okay? And when our souls come in through this life, we pick up the spiritual blueprint, energy blueprint of that gate, okay? So that isn't just for the individual, but it's also for the collective. It's also for the planet. It's for the cosmos. It's a really big thing. I don't have enough information on, but I'm just going off of my intuition, okay? Aquarian space is all about information. It's all about mind and acquiring knowledge, okay? So please do your research. Please do your research, all right? There's no excuse. There's really no, unless you get stuck in some kind of cult or something and you have no access to books or any information at all, okay? And you have one person telling you how to be and how to perceive your reality. That's one thing. But it's just so hard to not know something when it's everywhere. We have so much access. Thinking that we're gaining freedom, but are we really? So that is the end of the reading. Please use this time today. This is the opening of the September, it's the opening of the portal for the September full moon. And so I'm releasing this today, okay? Use this time, this cycle, this full moon energy, this starting today for a week. Use this time to prepare. And when I say prepare, I'm not saying get your canned goods and all that other stuff, which is actually a very good idea. Get your water, all that other stuff, right? But prepare the mind, prepare the heart, prepare your body. Focus on the energy vortex and get in tune with your internal flame, with your internal light. Thank you so much for tuning into this message, this transmission. Wholeness to you all. Remember to expand your consciousness, evolve your human being, and embrace supreme loving guidance. Thank you so much. Till next time.